All right, good morning. Greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I am your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all for joining us here today, Lions Talk Live, Saturday morning edition. And you know what? We've got a little bit of a topic for us to debate here, and it'll be interesting to see what everybody out there watching in YouTube land, the Do Crew, or everybody in between, what you guys have to say about this topic. You know what, you can tell from the thumbnail, and I'm sure you probably got it about, say halfway through the day yesterday, where news hit the end of tight end university week. Lions had three guys there, by the way. And, reporter on the scene asked Travis Kelce, hey, who's the best person here? Who's the best tight end out of all these dudes from the NFL? And you know what, Travis Kelce, he had a comment. We'll get to that here. If you don't already know, probably you do know. But hey, in case of not, we've got a little bit of video for you guys just so you can break it on down. Also, we've got 5 different headlines for you guys to get things going. But before we get into all of that, just a couple quick things. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We broadcast 7 days a week, typically 7 a.m. to roughly 8 a.m. Hey, come on over, be a part of the Do Crew. Also, if you got a free second of time, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, like button, whatever. We try to get each video to 200 to 300 thumbs up or likes. Just helps the channel get the information or the videos out to people who haven't yet discovered it. And then last but not least, if you are considering buying or selling property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, you see my number on your screen. Give me a call, shoot me a text, 269-998-2384. I've been a realtor or involved in the real estate game, I don't know, since the early to mid 90s, so a really long time. If you're looking for someone who's going to work for your behest, try to save you some money on either the purchase or sale of property, go ahead and give me a call. Let's see what we can do to make the process a whole lot easier for you. And, maybe get you that item you want, that vacant land, that commercial property, that new home, that secondary home without all the hassles. So go ahead and give me a call again. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. All right, this is Lions Talk Live. And if you are new to the show, new to the channel, we always start it off before we get to the main topic with 5 headlines now. So without further ado, let's get into 5 headlines now. You know what? We might even have a 6th headline for you guys today. I actually found a whole lot of good ones. So with that being said, let's see if I can bring this thing up. Un momento, por favor. Let's see if I can find it. Just to try to share screen here. Let's see. Let me see. All right, there we go. All right, now, and then this one's just to kind of be funny, but if you can see it on the screen, hey, we got a guy who is on The Price is Right, and check out his shirt. I liked the Lions before. It was cool. Not that it's really a headline, but I thought I'd throw it over at you guys. Just figured it'd be a little funny one for you. All right, 5 headlines now. Let's get it going. The NFL potentially sticks the Detroit Lions with a staggering $449 million bill. And this won't be just the Detroit Lions, but this was reported and was one of the headlines that hit the wire yesterday. This is going to potentially be a bill for every team in the NFL now that what do you call it? The lawsuit against the NFL is apparently going to result, if it's not won an appeal for the NFL, it will be a $12 billion cost charged to each team, or not $12 billion over the teams, but to the NFL that will be spread across each of the teams. And this is for the Sunday ticket debate, if they were price gouging or fixing. All right, Lions criminally underrated in linebackers unit rankings, and this is according to our friends over at Pro Football Focus. So as you guys may or may not be aware, Pro Football Focus and other rating institutions have constantly given the Lions linebackers, just massively low rankings. Some of them even said, hey, they're not even a top 32. And I don't know how that's possible that you can't have at least one of the NFL's top 32 linebacker groups. But yeah, some of them have really given the Lions some bad predictions. All right, 2024 record prediction: Detroit Lions 12-5, and this is by Nate Miller of Touchdown Wire. So he goes through, and if you want to dig it up, look it up. I mean, maybe you got a little free time today or over the weekend. Go ahead and check it out. He gives his thoughts on it, and Miller does, I think, a pretty fair job without being overly biased one way or the other. He just tried to go into it with his neutral position. And you know what? 12-5, I think a lot of Lions fans would be happy with that. All right, popular PGA Tour player is, quote, sneaky fan of the Detroit Lions, and that's Joel Durham. I don't know a ton about golf, and if my mom's watching, hopefully she'll forgive me. My mom and my dad are huge golfers, etc., really into bowling, and unfortunately, that did not translate to me. But either way, I do know that from reading this story and trying to find a headline for you guys, Joel and many other PGA players were definitely all aboard the Lions freight train, whatever, in the last year's playoffs, and that seems to be continuing this year. And then I thought for the last one, here we go, the best section of Ford Field to buy Detroit Lions tickets for. And this from our friends over at A to Z Sports is section 141. If you want the full story and find out why they came to that conclusion, go ahead and Google it. Again, A to Z Sports, best section in Ford Field to buy Detroit Lions tickets and see their reasoning on it. But those are your 5 headlines now. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the main topic of the day. All right, and as most of you know, probably from the thumbnail, that, hey, Travis Kelce, most people would say he's one of the NFL's top players, maybe even the top tight end. He's won a ton of Super Bowls with Kansas City, and you can see his effect on the field when he's out there. He's someone of note, so when he comes out and says something like we're about to see in the clip, that the Lions have potentially one of the best players in the NFL at the tight end position, and I want to see what your guys' thoughts are on this particular one. Spoiler alert, it's Sam LaPorta, but also some of the other Detroit Lions players at other positions. I think there's a debate. The Detroit Lions roster has improved to the point where, yes, you can legitimately look over and say, you know what, they've got the best dude in the entire league at that spot. And while maybe you can't say it for a ton of spots, I think there's starting to be a growing debate or topic where you can say the Lions, if it's not the best player, you have a lot of guys who are in, say, the top 5 or top 8. And if you're in the top 10 in the NFL at that position, you're pretty dang good. So, all right, let's go ahead and get over this. Enough of the jibber jabber. Let's get you guys over to the video. I got to go to the share screen. And Travis Kelce, there we go. So let me bring this on up and go ahead and play it for you guys.
I have a microphone on me right now. We'll talk about it.
Apologize for some of the language, too. This is not me.
Oh, yeah, I got to ask you these quick questions. Best tight end here.
LaPorta had a fucking year, dude.
LaPorta?
LaPorta had a year last year.
I'm glad we're getting a direct answer because a lot of guys out here.
I'm seeing where he goes the second year, but his first year he killed it.
I love that. Beer Olympics, who would be your partner?
All right. We don't need to hear about the Beer Olympics, but you get it. Travis Kelce, being talked to by Taylor Lewan, and I think most people are going to say if Sam LaPorta isn't the NFL's top tight end after year one, he's definitely got to be in the conversation for, say, top 5. So as you could probably also tell from the thumbnail, I tried to come up with a couple things, and here's my thoughts, at least what I came up with as far as guys who are, in my opinion, the top in the entire NFL at their particular position who are Detroit Lions. And if you look at the thumbnail, and I don't know how many of you guys can or can't, but we'll just go through it. I came up with Jack Fox, best punter in the NFL, in my opinion, not just because of his leg strength, his accuracy, but also the fact that he can affect special teams with his passing ability. Well, it wasn't as on display last year. If you remember 2 seasons ago, Fox threw for a lot of first downs for the Detroit Lions. He can actually rifle the football around. He may not be able to kick field goals, as he demonstrated when fans came out and said, hey, maybe Foxy should just go ahead and kick the field goals and the punting responsibilities for the Detroit Lions. He put out a real quick reminder that, hey, I'm a punter, not a kicker. Don't force the issue. All right, next I came up with Frank the Tank Ragnow. There could be real debate here because I'm not sure. I think Ragnow is damn good. And yes, I'll still put him as the best center in the entire NFL. I think it was a clearer statement 2 years ago. Last year, for a number of reasons, some of it injuries, some of it just other things. I think he's still the top center in the league, but it's not as clear as it was, say, 2 seasons ago. Penei Sewell, in my humble opinion, and yes, you can say I'm a homer, I'm a Lions fan, but he is without a shadow of a question of doubt the best right tackle in the NFL. And I think there's an argument to be made. If he played exclusively on the left side as the left tackle, he would be the top NFL left tackle as well. So make of it as you want. Those are the four I came up with. I want to see what you guys have to say. Yes, there's some debates for some other guys, but I think without a question, LaPorta, Fox, Ragnow, and Sewell are the absolute best in the NFL at their spots. But enough of what I think, enough what I say. Let's see what the Do Crew has to say on all this. One real quick note before we get going in the comments section, just so you guys know, it's only going to be about a half-hour video today. I've got a lot of other commitments, especially in the world of coaching today, so I've got to get to those, and you can't delay. All right, JDC kicking us off. Good morning, all. Good morning to you, too. Michael, greetings and salutations, Do Crew, exclamation points. Super Bowl or bust, one pride. Woo, woo. And good morning to you, too, and just for you guys. Yep, still got to work on that Macho Man, too. All right, Anthony, good morning, Do Crew. Super Bowl bound, 100%. And good morning to you, Anthony. Thank you for always being part of the channel and helping us out here at the channel. All right, Frank the Tank, good morning to all. Woo! Go Lions, and good morning to you, Tank. All right, Matthew, greetings, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Super Dome, Super Bowl. Woo, woo, woo. And good morning to you, too. All right, Robert, greetings and salutations. Back at you, Robert. Hopefully you have an outstanding start to your weekend. Frank the Tank, Sam LaPorta is going to have a better year than he had last year. Look out, NFL, go Lions. And, Frank, I think you're spot on. And that's the crazy thing when it comes to, LaPorta, Gibbs, Campbell, Brian Branch, a lot of these younger guys, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, there are so many young, talented players on this Lions team. And to think they haven't even hit their full maturity yet, their full development, physically, skillfully, all the above, this Lions team could really roar in 2024. Somebody needs to write that down. That sounds like a great t-shirt. All right, Lions fan number one, greetings, salutations, everyone. LaPorta is only going to get better. Think about how crazy good he is going to be this year and then by year 3. Yeah, he's only a rookie, and most rookies struggle in the NFL. Let that sink in. Look at this team, and especially the guys that are hitting year 2, 3, or whatever. We look at like Derek Barnes or Ife Melifanu. They needed 3 years to get hit their stride. And now you look at what they're doing by the time they hit year 3. Think about where LaPorta or some of the younger guys from last year's rookie class will be by the time they hit year 3. It's incredible. All right, Frank the Tank, they're going to be looking for Sam LaPorta and a lot more this year with a 1,000-yard season, 80 catches, 10 touchdowns, go Lions. Yeah, he puts up numbers like that. They're going to start putting the gold jacket on the kid before he's even hit his 3rd year in the league. And what he did last year was historic, mind-bending, how just good he was. And to think you got him in the 2nd round. Think about that. You got Gibbs and LaPorta for giving up the 6th round, the number 6 overall pick, and trading it back. By the way, for those naysayers sometimes of me, every once in a while I get a story right. So if you guys remember 2 drafts ago, I went on the air live and said, hey, word is the Lions are going to trade out of this pick. That was about 30, maybe 25 minutes or something like that before we went on air. So, hey, I may not get them all right, but I do get some right. So give some credit where credit is due. All right, is that still you? Good morning, all. Sewell, ? Ragnow, ? LaPorta, ? St. Brown, is that still you? I think you're spot on with that list. Now, could we say St. Brown is the top wide receiver in the NFL? I think it's debatable, but I think you're spot on. He's in the conversation. And I get he's not as flashy or as fast as, this guy or that guy. And I'll leave that list to you guys. But I think you're spot on. He's pretty dang tough to guard, and he should be in at least consideration, if nothing more. All right, Steve Rogers, Captain America. Good morning, gang. Don't forget to hit the like and share buttons. Helps out a ton. One pride. Yeah, thanks for that, Cap. And yes, it does help out a lot. Thank you for always being a part of the channel. Bo, good morning, Do Crew. Back at you, Bo. Hopefully having a good one. Quentin, greetings, salutations. What's good, y'all? Got me some woos coffee and kicking back watching Lions Talk Live with the Do Crew on a day off of work. Going to be a good one. Well, hope you enjoyed the day off, man. And yeah, kick back and relax. Let's see. Matthew, The Lions have the number one, in your opinion, at a number of positions. LaPorta could become number one tight end this year. Frank has been number one center for a while. I'll agree with that, by the way. Jack Fox would be number one punter statistically, except for the way Dan Campbell plays. Yeah, he doesn't get as utilized as perhaps other punters in the league, and maybe that's a good thing. So I think he's still, though, with the limited amount of vision you get of him or views you get of him per game, he's still perhaps the NFL's best punter. See, good morning, coach and the Duke crew. Grit, all aboard the train for Woo'sville. It's now departing. Go Lions. Yes, it's, if nothing else, man, that train is warming up and getting ready. The passengers are getting on. Man, you're 3 weeks away from training camp beginning. So let that sink in, Hookadoo. Frank the Tank also going to make another bold prediction. Jared Goff is going to throw for 4,800 to 5,000 yards. Let's go, baby. Go Lions, 100%. You know what? He puts out numbers like that. I know we were talking about it this week. Goff could be one of the outside candidates for being the NFL MVP this year. If he starts putting up numbers that hit the 5,000s, and let's just say he gets 35, 38 touchdowns, keeps the picks under 15, yeah, he'll be in the running for NFL MVP, in my particular opinion. Sounds like we think alike on that, Frank. All right, Dave, let's get this season going. Exclamation point. TikTok, Sam is a beast out there. Yes, Sam I am. He is clawing his way to the NFL's top spot as the tight end, and you're getting more and more people supporting that. Jesse, good morning, all. How many players we got that are in the conversation for the top in the league? I came up with 4. Let's see what you guys have to say. If you guys got other ones you want to throw on that list, by all means, throw them out there. Frank the Tank, another prediction. Aiden Hutchinson will be the defensive player of the year bucket. Let me tell you that Aiden in the fourth quarter is unbelievable. Go Lions. And Frank, I know we've talked about it in the past seasons where, hey, he looked tired the longer the season went on. I was thankful last year that they did him a solid. They got to the final, say, 3 or 4 games. They started dropping his snap count from 90-ish% of each game down to about 70. And in my opinion, you could really see some burst return to those legs, those hips. And yeah, he came out strong both in the postseason and the final couple regular season games. I'd say, Frank Tank, time to get that Mountain Dew and Snickers bar. Oh, wait, I had 2 Snickers bars yesterday. Can only have the Mountain Dew today. Let's go, Dan. Let's go, Lions. Yeah, you got to be careful not to eat too many. And Jen, unfortunately, stocked one of the shelves. She's got some family in town. She bought some stuff for some s'mores. Never got to making the s'mores. So some of those Hershey's candy bars have been devoured. So my waistline will probably be thankful when they're all gone. And I can just go back to having just a Mountain Dew in the morning. I'd say, Franz, good evening, brothers and sisters of the Dew crew. Woo! Thankfully, we have the NFL's best GM leading us. That's a fair point. We have some of the best players in the league because arguably we have the NFL's best general manager in the league. And he has done a phenomenal job. And I get it's not just him, but without breaking down everybody's names and everybody's position, let's just be honest. Brad Holmes has done a masterclass revitalizing this franchise and in record time. In just 4 years, he's turned us from the doghouse to the penthouse. And you know what? It looks like it's going to keep us up there for a long time to come. Matthew, we could have the number one cornerback. Yeah, could have cornerback number 1 in Arnold. Gibbs could become running back number 1. Yes, weapon. Panay is number 1 tackle, and Goff could become MVP this year. That would put him in number 1 consideration. Matthew, you bring up some outstanding points. I don't know, just because hey, let's face it, once you get a stigma, there is a certain percentage of the world that just has a hard time moving on from that stigma. Goff, right, wrong, or indifferent, people are going to probably give him his naysays for a long time to come. But like a number of you guys have said this morning, if he really gets into the MVP conversation, let alone if he wins the MVP, then I think, yeah, you could start putting him in the top 5, top 3, maybe even call Jared Goff the best quarterback in the league and let that sink in if that goes down. Yeah, the Rams will be probably giving us a pretty bad stare at that point. Let's see, Frank the Tank, Goff is going to have a heck of a year. I know he just got married. Hopefully his wife doesn't pull no Kelly stuff. Laughing out loud, go Lions. Yeah, I can't say I've ever heard his wife talk. just she doesn't seem to really be a part of the media. Yeah, even though I get she's involved in modeling and at a high level, I just don't know if I've ever heard a word come out of her mouth in regards to anything related to the sports, let alone her husband. It seems like she just keeps a low key with that, where I think any Lions fan who's been around for a minute understands Kelly Stafford, but to a certain degree, enjoys the limelight, enjoys the camera being on her. So, I would hope Goff's wife is not quite Kelly Stafford. All right, just say Kate, question for everyone: how many players are at or near the top this year, and how many will we have a season from now? Question mark. It's a good question because the amount of strong young talent on the roster for the Detroit Lions. How many guys, if we have the season we're all anticipating, will be considered top or basically just the top of the NFL a year from now? I think there's an argument for quite a few other guys. Aiden Hutchinson could probably be on the list. Let's see. St. Brown, Gibbs, I think if they really give him the Lions' share of the snaps and reps with the potential he has for numbers that he could generate with this offense and a defense that gets some turnovers, yeah, Gibbs could be near the top, if not at the top. So at least those three guys. Could one of the linebackers emerge or somebody from the secondary? It's also possible. After that part, I mean, I don't know, unless Jake Bates really just, does some sort of record-breaking performance kicking, maybe he could get in the conversation, but we'll have to see a year from now. Thomas Taylor, awesome statement by Kelce. I have been loading up on LaPorta rookie cards. Might not be a bad idea if you want to be an investor. Try to get some of those things. If he really does have the gold jacket type of career, that could be a strong return on investment. Matthew Hutch, number one defensive end. He was last year the leading in pressures, and if he has the sacks we think he's going to have this year, he could actually skyrocket up that list. So I'd say that's not a bad bet. See, Stephanie, good morning, boys! ! Made it up here after dealing with hours of construction, letting everyone sleep in while relaxed. Who's ready for some football? Well, I'm glad you made it up to, I think you said up north, and yeah, I think just about everybody in this channel is ready for some football to kick off. Clark, glad you made it, Stephanie. Do we put St. Brown or Hutch at or near the top? I would say yes, at or near the top. I think they're not quite going to be considered by the vast majority of NFL fans top of the league, but I think they're going to be in the conversation. Patrick, no doubt in my mind that these players like Hutch, Sewell, Gibbs, LaPorta aren't the best. I don't know who could be better. Yeah, I think they're all going to be up there. And again, just give them this year, see what happens. I think they could start affecting more and more people's opinions that the Lions might just have more than 4 at the top of the list. Patrick, and that goes for St. Brown as well. Fair enough. Let's see. I don't know of any that are better. Maybe as good, but not better. Yes, and that's probably where the argument could be made with some of the other guys on the list. Hookadoo, I would say, Patrick, your list is spot on. One pride, 100%. I'll go with that. Trumps, woo! And good morning to you too, sir. Glad to see you, man. It seems like it's been a day or two, so glad you're back, my friend. See, Bo, I know, Stephanie, I'm going to watch the Blue Angels tomorrow and have to get through a ton of construction on the way. Yeah, it sounds like there's a lot of construction the more you go north. Bo, are we cool now? You are cool now, aren't you? Let's see. Kurt, what up, though? Crew, what up to you, too? And hopefully having a great morning there, Kurt. Let us know when you get that time established for the show. We'll get the Duke crew informed and try to help you out, get you some views. Let's see, Bo, 14-3. I'll go with that. Kurt counters at 13-4. All right, Kurt, being Debbie Downer this morning. Clearly, somebody hasn't had their Mountain Dew. Just messing with you, man. All right, see, Bo, Tampa Bay, the game tailgate party. Who's going? Let's see if we can get enough people to go. If we do, let's get on over there and make it happen. I think it'd be fun. Rocky, good morning, all. Did anyone mention Doug English as one of the Lions' favorites yesterday? Met him at an event, and he was just a great player back in a day and a all-around nice guy off the field. I remember him, but I don't remember a ton about him, so somebody else might have to fill in those blanks there. Giovanni Lyons the second, I finally got a live show. Well, just for you, my friend, since you made it all the way here, you know what? We'll give you some moves. Glad you made it, my friend. Dave, 15-2. I'll go with that. That would be a heck of a season for the Lions. Bo, roar in 24. That sounds like a good bumper sticker. Let's see. JDC, the Lions have given me an 0-16 season. Now it's time for a 16-1 season. Payback. All right, I'll go with that. Do they lose the first game of the regular season and then win on out? Or where do you think the loss would come? Let me know, JDC. And I'm joking. Don't lose to the Rams, man. We're going to like that, Bo? Yes, I think everybody would like that. Yes, the Roar in 24. Shop the VTG. Good morning, Coach. I'm driving out to Chicago right now to sell vintage clothing. 3-hour drive, so I'm going to be in here live. Yeah, well, listen on in and help us get you through at least part of the drive, and hopefully have a good time over in Chi-Town. Amy, good morning. Dan and the Duke Crew. I can't wait until I watch the first preseason game. Exclamation point. Gosh, this group of guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Woo! Yeah, this team is pretty stacked, pretty built, and the amount of depth we have, I think, will really show up, Amy, in the preseason games. Is that still you? I meant for the upcoming season. Fair enough. I'll go with that. Ken, Gene, all right. Let's see. Robert, Coach, do you remember not that long ago when Jack Fox was our very best player? I'm serious, he was. You know, there was a time where he probably wasn't just the best player. He was like head and shoulders above everybody else. So thankfully, that is no longer the case. I knew where you were going with that, Robert. Yeah. Let's see. Is that still you? MVP, dang, we got dreams. We do, man. And if Goff really does have the season, he seems like in his time in Detroit, he's only gotten better and better and better. He's also hitting that age frame where most quarterbacks, if they made it this long in the league, they really do kind of let the game just slow down to them. It's harder and harder to catch them off guard with different things on defense they haven't seen before. So I'm anticipating that's kind of where Goff is. He's, not as skittish under pressure as he was, say, 4 years ago. He's just more mature, more relaxed. And you know what? If the game slows down as we're anticipating, yes, I do think Jared Goff is going to be at least in the conversation for MVP, which he was last year until about Thanksgiving. All right, Ken, greetings, salutations, Coach Duke Crew. If you rank the top 5 players by position, the list has a lot of lines on it, and that it does. I think you are 1,000% spot on there, Ken. Agree with you. See, Amy France, I believe we have the best owner in the NFL. Woo! Woo! Go Sheila. Yes, and she probably needs a show just on her. I get we all are aware of Ford Hamp, Sheila, what she's done, but, a deep dive video in the offseason probably is justified. And see, Patrick Mahomes in 2024, 27 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Goff had 30 and 12 touchdowns and interceptions. Yeah, and again, we talk about perspective. I think that's part of it. If you just took the names off and threw them up there and say which one's the better player, everybody obviously would gravitate towards the 30 and 12. But because Patrick Mahomes' name's up there, the perception of him, hey, that's where people will go. See, Patrick, Goff, in your opinion, is a better quarterback. At least you'd have some strong arguments to be made there to support Goff the last couple years. Is that so? His wife is a professional in her own right. She's not a Kelly. Yeah. I worry sometimes when you have someone like Kelly that, I'm trying to think of a good way to put this, just gets bored probably. You got the kids keep you busy, but you see your husband getting all this, noteworthiness, I guess you could say. She started her podcast, I think, to try to have something to do in life, because that's where I think just staying busy with some stuff. And, there can be people like, I think I probably go over the top staying busy. There are some people I know, man, when they just don't have a reason to get up in the morning. And I think with Kelly Stafford, she tries to look for things just because she's bored, basically. And, hey, maybe have a hobby. And maybe Kelly would do a little bit better with things from a media standpoint if she had a hobby. See, Ken, now do top 3 coaching staffs by room. All right. I'll probably have to come up with that for a different video there, Ken. Is that so you, Stephanie? Glad to hear you are there safely. Have fun? Yes, 100%. I hope you and the kiddos have some fun. Rocky, sounds like we have a defensive line coach now who's at the top of the list. Woo! Yeah, that is the word on the street. That Williams is, perhaps one of the NFL's best at his position. Shop the VTG. Woo! All of the above. Enjoy your ride over to Chi-Town, man. Get some delicious Chicago-style pizza. Rocky, good morning. Rut Steele would be listening to your show on the first. Hope all goes well. Yes, I think a lot of us will be tuning in to Kurt Steele's new show when it happens and it hits. And I think it's this upcoming week, if I'm not mistaken. All right, JDC, Stephanie Water, glad you made it to the Yoop. Stay safe, enjoy. Yeah, try to make sure you don't run into any bears or wolves. Jason, what do you got? Greetings, salutations, all! Exclamation point. It feels like just a few days before Christmas, waiting for the season to start. The anticipation is killing me. Superdome or bust, 100%, my friend. And let us know when you got that live stream going about the Tree of Destiny resurrecting for the upcoming season. Yes, JDC with the tree. Man Bear, hey, man, it's been a minute. Hello to you too, Man Bear. Hopefully having a great one. Let's see, Rocky, Gibbs has become one of the best all-around backs in the league. I would agree with that. And I think, man, the season he's going to potentially have this year, especially if he really does move from a 50-50 split to more like a 60-40 split with David Montgomery, yeah, he could really just jump on out there. Hookadoo, Jason, you're just itching on the Tree of Destiny. Yeah, I'm sure he's ready to throw that thing up there. Ken, we already know at least one thing that Kelly did to get attention. Yes, she did. And again, I know we ran the headline yesterday in the top 5 headlines now or whatever for the Lions, that now how it's affected that other family. That's probably the downside, and one I'm guessing she didn't really consider. See, Patrick, Chicago dogs are outstanding. Woo! That's not a bad idea either. Hot dogs over there are pretty dang good. Oops, Rocky. Not Rob, but Kurt. Sorry about that. Hey, typos happen. We all knew where you were going with that, Rock. JDC, one dude crew, yell on 3. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Just for you guys. Patrick, that's about it as far as Chicago goes. Fair enough. All right, guys, it has been a little over a half hour. Give you a little bonus time, Patrick, with the last one here. Now, if you want to get something great, get some Detroit barbecue ribs. That's not a bad idea. I wonder if they sell those in Chi-Town. Bo Woo. Yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. If you would just take a brief moment of time, it's free of charge, and it only takes a second. Hit that thumbs up button. We try to get each broadcast to 200 to 300 likes or thumbs up. Helps the channel out a lot. If there is some sort of breaking news today, when I have time, I'll try to get it over to you. Otherwise, kick back, relax, go enjoy the rest of your day. Is that still you? Have a good day all. Same to you. Bo, happy trails to you. All done and dusted. See you all tomorrow. Anthony, what I believe is Rams wasn't willing to put the players in key spots to make Goff better, where the Lions were on a rebuild and were, willing to do exactly that. Happy trails, go Lions. Yes, JDC. Phil, hey, waving. Hey, I do. Can't wait to see that Duke Crew guitar. So real quick about the Rams, I think they forgot that they have a very young quarterback, and most quarterbacks do take several years to kind of gel and develop. Goff had some good seasons without question. And in the Super Bowl, yes, did he miss one guy wide open for a touchdown? Absolutely. He also had another guy drop 2 touchdown passes. If that guy holds on to those passes, the Rams win more than likely that Super Bowl, and Goff is viewed in a vastly different mindset, both around the NFL and with the LA Rams. So it is what it is. But all right, their losses are gained, I'd say. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you all at the next Lions Talk Live, and just for you guys before we leave. Happy trails to you until